Ah, hey, what's going on? But I wanted to share a story with you guys. I want to talk about the GameCube. And the reason why I want to talk about the GameCube, I want to talk about the GameCube. I want to share the story with you guys that leads up to this Nintendo Switch, which we all know that the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be dropping this year. I don't know when, but it's going to drop. I'm not going to buy it because I barely play this, but I will buy it eventually because I might end up giving this to one of my grandkids or a relative or something. But I do like this little thing. So let's go back to 2000 and I think it was September 14th of 2001 when the GameCube launched. I remember when I got that game from my boys. I told y'all in my other videos that the PlayStation 3 was the first game system in the house. Actually, it was the GameCube. But the GameCube got broke because my kids was little. And they kept putting the door down. And it stopped reading. Now, I was disappointed about that GameCube not working. I tried to get it fixed, but I was so struggling at that time. I was so disappointed. I remember I called and they said I could take it in to somebody and all that, but I just never could do it because I was so broken. I remember I was so glad when I got that game. So I wanted to share the story with you guys that leads up to the GameCube that led up to Nintendo is why I have a soft spot for Nintendo. I don't talk about Nintendo that much, but I do like Nintendo. So I remember when I got them Star Fox. I remember that game. That game was so fun. It was I can't think of, but I know that when they played Star Fox and that little ship, you was the ship, you was behind the ship and then you was shooting stuff. And I was working 2 jobs, so I was getting them every other weekend, and we didn't have much money and stuff, and they were all little and they was playing a game, and I remember going in there playing with them every now and then because I was always cooking them meals and all that kind of stuff, and we was trying to see movies because that's all we could do and stuff. They could only eat like 3 square meals a day, and it was like we was on a budget, man. I mean, tight budget. And I remember looking at that game and I really liked it, but I really, really did love that GameCube. And if I could ever get a brand new one that's never been broke or refurbished or nothing, there's no way that you can get a brand new GameCube anywhere. If you did, you're going to pay a lot of money. But I have fond memories with the GameCube, and which made me like. I wasn't into video games that much, but then I was in the background of video games because, most of my friends was 20 to 25 or 25 years younger than me. And, when I met them through my job, a lot of them was 25, almost 30 years younger than me. And they was playing games, and then my kids was wanting to have a game system and then when we got our second game system, it was the PlayStation 3 because it was supposed to be the Xbox 360, but it was on fire and it was so hot it was hard to keep in. And when I told you guys the story before, when I went to get an Xbox 360, he said I only got one PS3, and he said I don't think it's gonna last the next couple of hours, so I bought that. So that was our second game system. But the first official game system was GameCube. So anyway. So Star Fox is the one that has, that Star Fox, man. I still remember looking at that thing, and I'm looking at that box, and I was so amazed at how that little box could do all that. And you had that little disc in there and stuff, man. I still remember them playing that. But the game that really, brings back memories when they were little was this game right here, Metroid Prime. They played that game, and I was fascinated with this game because I used to watch them play, and I used to stand there and watch them play while I was fixing dinner and stuff on the weekends when I get them every other weekend. And I used to get them twice a year. I used to get them 1 week for the summer, and I get them 1 week for the winter. But actually, it was like 9 days I had them, including the weekend. So it was a nice little time to spend with them. But I remember one day I was fixing them something to eat. They was waiting to eat and stuff, and I walked in there. All 3 of them was laying down on their bellies, and they had this book of Metroid Prime, and all 3 of them figured out this game, and they beat this game. And they said, Dad, I walked in there and said, what? It's a girl. They were surprised that there was a girl behind all that. I said, what? And I remember walking in there, and I said, "That's a woman." And sure enough, they said, "Look, Dad," and they showed me it was a woman and all that. I said, "Yeah." And I remember, yeah, it was so different how you looked at games back then, man. I'm just sharing you guys my memories of the Nintendo. And I remember looking at that game, how it went into a ball, and just the way that gameplay was. And there was no markers in the game to where you could go. You had to figure out how to beat that game. It ain't like some of the games now where you got markers you set and you can go here and go there. There's some people, when they brought out this remaster, they said they kind of wish they would have done that, but they just remastered it the same way. And it brings back such fond memories when they were little. And I used to get them every other weekend, and twice a year, and I keep them for like 9 to 10 days, depending on how many vacations I have. But yeah, Metroid Prime, and that is my memory of. That's my memory with the GameCube, and we all know that Nintendo is coming out with the Nintendo Switch. Now, I always sit there and tell you guys I ain't gonna buy the Nintendo Switch. I always say stuff like that, and then I end up buying it. I don't know for sure if I am or not, but I love this little thing. I think this is a nice piece of hardware, and I never talk about this thing. It's so weird because I have all these game systems in the house, and I'll play them, and then I'll put them down. Then I'll play them, then I'll put them down. I'll play the PS3, then I won't play it a while. Then I'll play my Xbox Series X, then I won't play it a while. Then I'll play my Xbox 360, then I won't play it a while. Then I'll play my PlayStation 4. I won't play it, then I'll play my PlayStation 5. I got my Steam Deck. So you got to juggle all this around. But I just wanted to tell you that story. Just that fond memory of when I got that. Star Fox and Metroid Prime was the one that really has such a, takes me down memory lane. My kids weren't in trouble. They weren't in trouble with the law. They weren't doing dumb stuff. They were just little kids, and they were under my care and their mom's care and stuff. You didn't have to worry about them doing some of the silliest stuff that they do now when they get older. It seems like when kids get older, they get more stupider than when they were little. Because I guess they were more under your guidance, You get on them and they don't do it. But when they get grown, you find out they're in trouble. I'm like, come on, man, you got to cut all this crap out. But they're all right. They're turning the corner. They're trying. But I was like that once too. But anyway, Metroid Prime, and then the games that I like on Nintendo is Luigi's Mansion. Love this game. I really love this game. And I haven't played it yet, but somebody told me it's got some little tricks in there, a little trickery. I haven't played it yet. Like I told you guys, there's so many games I have not played. But look, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know for sure, but if I wasn't working and I had more time on my hands, I ain't gonna lie. I would study God's word, and I would work out. I would drink lots of water. I would get lots of sleep. And yeah, I would probably play a lot more video games, But you got to juggle all this stuff in, and that's why I slowed down on buying a lot of games. But I never talk about Nintendo, but I wanted to tell you that story about the first game system. And I said the first game system was the PS3, but it wasn't. It was the GameCube. And then, Nintendo just took off after that, and then they had the Wii U, which was the Wii U was. I think it was the Wii U, and then they had that other, was it the Wii U? And then they had that one where it separated. I had that too. I should have kept that. I give that to my daughter, and then she ended up getting it stolen or something. I don't know how. God, I should have kept that thing, because the one that came out before the Switch 2, because you had that one that was really good, the one where you could do all the hand motion stuff. I wish I would have kept that one too. I would have kept all my game systems. If it was up to me, I would have a glass case of the original GameCube, and then the Wii that came after that, and then I think it was the Wii U, and that one didn't do very well, and then you came out with the Switch, and this thing took off like a rocket. You know how many Switches I bought? I remember buying, I bought my son one. He ended up giving it to his kids. And my youngest son, I gave it to him. I bought him one. And then I bought my daughter, my grandson one. And I bought one. I remember I walked out there with 3 Switches. No, I walked out with 2 Switches because I bought my son one because I thought he was going to play, but he ended up letting his kids play it. And I didn't think he was going to do that. I actually thought that was going to be his little system. Because, when you got little kids, they kind of scratch up the screen. They got oily hands, but they're his kids, so it was his. Once I handed it over to him, it was his. But I got him one, and I got my grandson one. And my grandson, I thought he would actually put that in his room and take better care of it. And he ended up letting some other kid kind of like tear it up. And I was like, really? That was supposed to be something special between me and you, But, he's young, so he didn't know any better. So, it's like, man, dude. But I remember walking out of GameStop with 2 brand new Switches. I gave one to my youngest son, and I gave one to my daughter, because I remember she brought my grandson up, and he was so young then. And she took a picture of us holding his bag and his Nintendo Switch. And he doesn't have that now. It's kind of disappointing, because I figured that would be something that he could remember as he grows up. I told my kids to call me Gramps. I said, but, it's not his fault. He said he took it over his friend's house and left it over there and it got broke or something like that. But just wanted to share those memories with you guys. So, and then, obviously, Donkey Kong. This is one I've already played, and I enjoy this game. So, I love this game. And this is a very good game. And very much fun. I started playing it, and I just kind of got stuck, so I just stopped playing. So I still like this game, but yeah, this game is just a lot of fun. And then, like I said, I think I'm gonna play this during Halloween, when this coming year, Halloween, good Lord see fit. But I heard nothing but good things, and obviously, I told you guys about Samurai EX. This is an excellent game, because I got gameplay of this on one of my previous videos that's in my playlist. But this is a good game. So that I just wanted to share my memories with Nintendo, and they're all good memories. But like I told you guys before, if I had a case with LED lights, I would have a GameCube, I would have the Wii, and I would have the Wii U, and I have my Nintendo Switch, and I would have my PlayStation 3, and I'd have my Xbox 360, PlayStation 5, 4, and I don't have any memory with the PlayStation 2. Is because we were so struggling that I remember I went to this place called Rent Center, and I got a brand new one, and I just could not afford those payments. And the kids was playing it, and they come down every other weekend, and I was paying all that child support, and I was working, I was trying to make rent, and I was always late on my rent. One time I slept in I got this little house I rented, and one time electric got shut off, and I had to sleep in that whole house for a whole week in the dark. I remember coming home, and I was so mad because I couldn't watch Smallville. And I was like, dang, I'm going to miss an episode of Smallville. That was the longest week sleeping in that little house. And I made it work, though. But there's a lot of fond memories in that little old house I rented. And that's how much I was struggling. But when I brought home that PS2, there's no memories of the PS2 because we didn't own it long. And I had to take it back because I just couldn't afford that weekly payment. I was paying over $200 a month, $200 a week, child support. So that's, you got 4 weeks in a month. That's 2, 4, 6, 8. And then if you got 5 weeks in a month, that's $1,000. I kept saying, man, if I hadn't had this, I'd have a nice car. I didn't have no license. My license was suspended. I was on probation, and I just was going through a lot, and I was working my butt off to get myself out of the hole I put myself into. But, I just, Nintendo, there's a lot of fond memories of Nintendo, and I just wanted to share with you guys the memories I have of the Nintendo company itself. This is a really nice piece of hardware. The history of Nintendo, man, is just, it's just crazy how they just was able to do what they did and to make. I mean, just this. I mean, this little thing feels good to your hand. It just feels good. I mean, I just turned it on and I haven't even I turned it on and I haven't even you know, I haven't even had this thing on forever. It came right on, you know, and it's a nice piece of hardware. I mean, sit there and hit continue, and it's just a nice piece of hardware. And I mean, you got. And it gets me. I got all my games loaded up on here. If hopes you can see it. See that? Sonora EX, Donkey Kong, and Zelda, and Mario. But these other ones is everybody raves about this game, and I don't see anything wrong with this game at all. I just don't get into it. I think it's nice. And, as much as I like Astrobot, and I know Astrobot picked up a lot of stuff from this, maybe, but I just wasn't feeling it. And I'm going to keep it, but my grandson loves this game. When he was younger, he used to play this. He's a teenager now, so it's a lot different with him now. But I remember when he dressed up as Mario for Halloween. But this is not a game that I like that well, to be honest. And this one, Victor Varan, I shouldn't even pick this up. I was watching this, a video of these two guys that buys all these pickups, and I thought that'd be a good game, but I haven't even tried it, and I don't think I'll play this game. I'll probably end up getting rid of these games. I'm gonna keep games I know I'm gonna play. This one here is going to break a lot of y'all's heart because everybody just loves this game and I just can't get into it. And it's Zelda. I just don't get into it. Now, did I say that this game is bad? Did I say that this game is bad? Nope. Did I say that this game is bad? Because everybody loves these two particular games. They really do. It's just that I don't get into them. But I get into this, and I get into this, and love this. And this is a beautiful game. This is a beautiful game. Now, you can get this on the PlayStation 4 as well, but I wanted it on the Nintendo Switch, and it looks gorgeous on the Nintendo Switch. So, but I got this just because I love the series, and it's BioShock. I wish BioShock would make another game, though. I really do. My favorite game, though, out of all of them is the one where you're up in the BioShock Infinite, I think it's called. That one, if you can see it, it's the one in the middle. Yeah, that one with the chick. God, that game is so good. Of course, we know the first one is just phenomenal, but that one in the middle, if you guys look at it, the one with the girl, I fell in love with that game. I'm almost halfway over that game. And this game is old. But when I seen this was available for the Nintendo Switch, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get this for the Nintendo Switch. So I just wanted to take you down the memory lane of, of me, actually, playing that game, See, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I'm not actually playing the game. I just wanted to show you guys that what it looks like. But look at that. God, that's a good game. Look how pretty that is. But and it feels good in your hand. And I can't imagine what that Switch 2 is going to be like. I know it's going to be bigger, but they never did say. I know they're going to let us know all the bells and whistles when it gets ready to get launched. And I'm just wondering if they're going to have an OLED. What I think they're going to do is they're going to sell the Switch 2, and it's going to have all the bells and whistles, and then 6 months later, they're going to come out with a Switch 2 with an OLED screen. I really think they're going to do that. Why they just don't just put the OLED screen on there, just sell it like that right off the riff? I don't know. But this doesn't have an OLED. I couldn't see the point of, you know, I couldn't see the point of trying to, I couldn't see the point of trying to buy another Nintendo just because of the fact I wanted the OLED screen. So anyway, you guys, God bless, and we'll catch you in the next video. And I got to play in this game, and I'm trying to talk to you guys at the same time. But anyway, just wanted to share those memories with you guys, man. It just brings back memories when things were a little bit more simpler and the kids was little, and you could scold them and they go in the room and do whatever, you know, and stuff. And it's just a lot of, I still can see that bringing home that GameCube with my struggling self. I was in my 30s, man, trying to get my life back on track because I screwed up my life being a jackass. And, you know, it was my own fault. And I knew what I had to do, and I had to, you know, I stayed at it. And I thank God I stayed at it. But, you know, that Nintendo GameCube, though, man, that thing was just, that was a fine piece of machinery, you know. And, which, you know, later on I ended up getting the Wii, and then I got the Wii U. I think it's that one where you had two sections of, it was I wish I would have kept that. I really, just for nostalgia, you know. So, like I told y'all before, if I had a glass case, I would have kept all my game systems in there if they would have stayed working, you know. But I know there's places out there that can fix stuff. And I know people's like, oh, you can get a GameCube, man. They're out there. Just got they're refurbished. I got one. It works just fine, but I really wish I would have kept that thing and got it fixed, you know, and just kept it just for nostalgia. And somebody say, dang, Vic, you still got a GameCube? I said, yep, that's that GameCube when my boys was all like 9, 10, and 11 and stuff like that. And like I said, that Nintendo GameCube brought memories back. And I just wanted to share you guys that story. And like I said, I wish I had more time to play games and stuff. But there's series on TVs I like to watch. There's games I'm in the middle of on all these game systems and stuff. It's just, I don't have much time, you know. And just, you know, more and more we get close to that Nintendo Switch 2 launch, man. I like to see how big it is. I like to see how it feels in my hand, because I ain't gonna lie, I love the way this thing feels. I don't find anything wrong with any of my systems. I could be mad at this system because they got Xbox games you can play on there. I could be mad at Sony that they got games that you can play on here. I don't roll that way because I have multiple games here, and we're talking about Nintendo. But what's great about Nintendo stayed true to what they just don't try to mess up anything that's working for them. They just keep the same thing, and it's working. It's working, and I don't blame them. You know, I wish Microsoft would have done that, but at the same time, I'm not mad at Microsoft. I mean, when Microsoft bought that big company for $70 billion, I remember sitting there going, saying, I even thought in the back of my mind, I said, if Microsoft was smart, they would just keep everything the same and just sell games to everybody. And what did they do? They end up doing that. So to me, I think they're doing the right thing. I just told everybody, look, we done bought this for $70 billion. They were third party. This company here was a third party game. This company here was a third party game. This company over there was a third party game. So we bought them, and we're going to keep doing third parties, not just Xbox exclusive. I understand about Xbox being exclusive and how that would have made it more lucrative. But even when they purchased it and everybody knew that they purchased it, I thought personally that the Xbox systems and the consoles would be rolling off the shelf. When they made that purchase with all the games that they had that supposedly is supposed to be coming out, and everybody knew, all the companies, that when they bought Bethesda for $70 billion and all the things that was up under Bethesda and all the games that they were in the middle of working on, and all the Microsoft people, all the Xbox fans was wanting it to be exclusive only. My biggest thing is, if they was supposed to be so, and I love Xbox, I like all my systems, then why didn't those consoles just sell out. As soon as they said it's a wrap, as soon as Microsoft went through all that court and they said, we own them now, we own them, they should have been like mass producing Xbox Series X's and all that, just because everybody was like, oh, I'm gonna buy that system now, man, because I know in 5 to 6 years, these games are gonna come out. I mean, if they couldn't keep up with the production after they said, we own Bethesda, we own them, and if they would have had to ramp up production and they couldn't keep up with the sales because everybody's buying this system, I think they would have had a different, I think they might have had a different outlook. But it never worked, you know. Microsoft was struggling selling that thing even after they purchased Bethesda. So anyway, just sharing that with y'all. But I remember when I sat on the couch and when we was hearing all this stuff, when they was going through all the courts and stuff, and I kept sitting there saying to myself, why don't Microsoft just let those companies just say, we bought Bethesda, but we're just going to let all the games that they're producing just go out on third party. And then what Microsoft do, they end up turning around, and now they're doing the third party thing. And which to me doesn't bother me, because this Nintendo Switch is playing games for Sony sometimes. This Nintendo Switch is also playing games for Microsoft. And what I'm trying to get people to understand when I make this comment is that it doesn't bother me if I play another game from another company that is supposed to be on that other console. It just don't bother me, because at the end of the day, I got all these consoles I can play at my leisure. So I'm not mad because they did this and they did that. I just think it's silly. That's all. I just think it's silly. But that's just my take on it. So anyway, went way too long, but I just wanted to share my memory of Nintendo and that GameCube. God, that GameCube was, I think it was a purple GameCube, or was it blue? I still remember going in there and they had this little they were little, so I had this little shelf. I went and got to the dollar store and I put that little shelf on there, and it just had the little games. And we used to go to Family Video and we used to rent games. But anyway, God bless, take care, enjoy your week, and we'll catch you next video. We'll see you.